Aston Villa 2, Crystal Palace 0. We've won a match, we've scored 2 goals, we've kept a clean sheet. Bring on Everton on Thursday night. Do you want to bet against us? Welcome to episode 8 of Up the Villa podcast. It's a winning podcast episode. We've had 8 episodes which have been quite negative, so hopefully this is our first uplifting episode. So we've come away 2-0 winners against Crystal Palace, and for me the most pleasing sign of it was the application of the team today. We showed everything that we've been lacking at times: fight, hunger, desire. We had a plan today, and we looked like we had belief that we were going to go out there today and perform under severe pressure, anything other than a win, and that was it for me. So for me, going into the Everton game, it's give us a chance, it's give us hope that we can remain in this league. I think if we can beat Everton, we'll be within a point of Watford and West Ham, who play each other on Friday night. So again, the worst we can come off with that would be a point or 2 points behind each team. So we've got a chance now, and hopefully we can take this level of performance into the Everton game and capitalise and get maximum points. We need to now be crucial with our confidence and take that forward. I thought Trez had his best game in a Villa shirt. Jack showed more on the ball, which was brilliant. McGinn was looking like McGinn at times. Douglas Luiz was brilliant again. Thankfully Almo came on because his deliveries are brilliant, and I think he needs to stay in the team. And it was just an all-round good performance. It was what was needed, and it just gives us that hope and a little bit of belief that we can stay in this league. So hopefully we've got some real positive callers on today. So let's get straight on in there. So we're joined by our first caller of the night, Seb, and finally we've won a game of football.
Yay!
Can't believe it. 8 episodes in, and we've finally won. Clean sheet. What did you make of it?
Oh, it was a good result, good performance. It was a good all-round performance, which is something I think we've lacked so far since the restart. Since the restart, we've seen good defensive performances. We haven't really seen good attacking performances, but Trezeguet seemed to take that into his own hands today to try and rectify that.
Where's he
with the
been?
2 goals, the brace. Oh God, maybe we should hammer him over Twitter every week.
Yeah.
I think we sort of gained off the fact that Palace didn't seem to turn up today. You could see Roy Hodgson, and that wasn't the normal Crystal Palace today.
No.
But, at the end of the day, I don't care what Palace turned up. The worst Palace that turns up, as long as it benefits for Villa, I don't care. Yeah. But Palace will be very disappointed with that result and disappointed with their showing today because they weren't good enough.
No. And for me, the key word that I think summarises us today was application. We applied ourselves exactly how we had to do it. And to be fair, there was pressure on us today. Huge amounts of pressure. Had we have lost 7 points, cut adrift, absolutely no chance. And fair play to us today, because we showed the fight, belief, hunger, which is what is needed in the next 3 games. And it was just pleasing to see that we are still in there. So for me, I think if we can win against Everton, it puts huge pressure on Watford and West Ham in that game. Whatever the result, we're still in there. We're still in with a chance, and hopefully we can take it to West Ham on the final day. So, standout performers for you then today, who were they?
I mean, obviously, Trezeguet's name has to be bandied around. I don't think there are too many people that are big fans of Trezeguet, but after today, he's doing his best to sort of, ride the wave and turn Villa fans' perspectives on him. And if he keeps putting performances in like that, then they will do. They will, change their mind on him and maybe see that he does work hard for the team and he does care. Because I think that's what they thought he lacked.
Yeah.
I think people thought he didn't care. But, he ran his socks off today. Credit to him. He couldn't have tried any harder if he wanted to. And he sort of single-handedly pulled us up to give us that little bit of hope to take into the last 3 games.
Yeah. So why do you think we did perform like that today? It's like we've had 10 games to get these wins, and today, when the pressure was on, that was when we did it. What do you think made the difference today?
We looked up for it today. I really believe we looked up for it. Starting from the goalkeeper, everyone seemed to know what they were doing to counteract Palace's threats. Neil Taylor did a brilliant job on Wilf Zaha before Taylor came off, and then Target came on and did an even better job, which I didn't think was possible.
No.
Every player seemed to understand their roles, and they seemed to be well drilled. Since the Sacco goal went in that later got disallowed, I think that was just a bit of a scare, and I think that almost sort of was a jump off the Villa players' backsides, almost as in this is game time now. Get into this now. This is our chance, and they sort of switched on. And after that, until we were 2-0 up, they didn't really look, an element of doubt until we went ahead.
So I mean, looking towards that penalty that Jack got as well, which VAR disallowed. When I first saw it, I thought pen, definite pen. And then the more you see it, the more you think, yeah, he planted his foot and tripped the defender. But why do you think they overturned that today, but they didn't the other night against Man United?
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
The reason they didn't overturn that today is because his name is not Bruno Fernandes and our name is not Manchester United. If that was Bruno Fernandes, that would have been a penalty. Look, I'm not saying for any minute that it should have been a penalty. Okay, when you look it back, he's thrown himself to the floor so theatrically. It is a blatant dive, and realistically, he should have been booked for it.
Yeah.
I was personally quite annoyed that he didn't shoot earlier. I thought he got himself into a few positions today where he could have had the shot on the edge of the area, but he chose to keep going and keep going. And credit to him because, maybe he feels as though shooting from the edge of the area isn't going to muster anything up. But look, it wasn't a penalty and we can't complain with that.
No. But going on back to Jack, I thought he looked more himself today. He was popping up in all those areas. We were winning the balls in midfield and he was driving us forward. So it was pleasing to see his performance. And I think when I look at that midfield three, Douglas Luiz, McGinn and Grealish, they dominated the midfield today. And that's what we need to see more often, and especially going into this Everton game. So what are your thoughts on our chances at this moment in time then?
Well, I mean, I think firstly, on Grealish, the reason he looked more himself is because he seemed to find himself in positions further up the pitch.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a football person to know if you get the ball further up the pitch, you're more likely to create a dangerous attack. I also think McGinn, credit to him, looked back to where he should be today. Maybe he's not 100%, but he certainly looked 95, 96%. And Palace looked to struggle with him today. And your second question, where do I think this will lead us? Look, this is just a start now, okay? We've got 3 games left now to really, really save our season. Mm-hmm. We had to win today, and we've done that, but that's only stage 1. Mm-hmm. Everton is now stage 2, where we have to get a result.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that going into the West Ham game, I can sit here with you and go, if we get something out of West Ham, Aston Villa will be in the Premier League next season. Because I personally, if you offered it to me now, if we had to go to West Ham and win, I'd take that. I think probably you'd take that. I think most of, Birmingham would take that at this moment in time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just got to move on to Everton now and get that win, no matter how we do it. But I feel like the same level of performance will get that win. If we play like that today, I think we'd get that win. Um, because it's just the intensity for me. We just looked like we believed we were going to do it, which I thought was the most pleasing thing. We've watched us recently, and at times we just lack that intensity. It's what you need when you're in a relegation battle, really. So, if you had to pick a man of the match today, who'd you go with?
I'd probably go with Trezeguet, but you've
Yeah,
got to give honourable mentions to Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, Jack Grealish. I could go through the whole 11 here today of who could be man of the match, but I think Trezeguet tips it. And personally, I'd say that the reason we looked so as up for the fight today, I think that I was speaking to my brother about it earlier. I think that first goal helped us so much. It just sort of released everything, any worries, any doubts that they had, and we could go and play freely then to go on and get a
yeah.
second.
No, I thought it was a good performance today, and it was definitely what was needed. So,
Needed,
score
yeah.
prediction: Everton. What are you going for?
I'm feeling positive today, which is the
Yeah,
first time I've
just
been
keep it
positive on the
going. Keep
podcast.
it going.
I think this is the first time I've come onto this podcast and I haven't moaned about
No,
anyone. So you know what? I'm gonna keep that up, and we're gonna beat Everton 2-1.
2-1. Buzzing, mate. It's
2-1.
been great for your call.
Thank you, and you. Speak
Speak
to
to
you
you soon.
soon.
Bye, mate. So, 8 episodes in, we've got a win. Can't believe it. When we actually needed to win, do or die win, and we got it. What do you think?
Yeah, I was beginning to think we'd cursed it, to be honest, mate. But that curse been lifted now, and we can look forward to Everton away now, can't we?
I mean, I just can't believe we've had 10. Well, okay, we had 10 games to go, and it's took until a game where we had to win for us to win.
Yeah,
In previous games, there's been not nowhere near this level of pressure. How have we done that today?
I don't know. We started to look like the team we was at the start of the season, and how we were performing at the start and not getting the results. But today we looked assured. We was at it. We was, well, from the second half anyway. We was creating chances, and yeah, we just looked. I think that goal just, a whole weight had been lifted,
Yeah.
and we just seemed to, confidence just seemed to breeze out of us then, and we was off.
I mean, to be fair, I've been a little bit critical of Trezeguet. Where's he been?
I
Mate,
know.
if he played like that every week, even his work rate today, I'm not saying obviously he was magnificent throughout, but just the work rate, he just looked assured on that pitch today. Like even he was fighting for something. I don't know whether he's fighting for a career somewhere else, but I don't care. Like it was good today to see him play like that, and Elmo come in and like he does that all the time.
I think Dean Smith having his hands forced with the House injury. No disrespect to House, he's been quite solid since
Yeah,
since the restart. But he just give us something we was lacking in the other games. Almo, and then Taylor come off injured as well, and Target come on. We had two attacking fullbacks,
yeah,
and I think the front three have been isolated. But today, them two pushed on, and it give us another option. And Almo, I thought he was my man of the match.
yeah,
The ball he put in for Grealish, and then the ball he put on Samatta's head as
yeah.
well. We haven't had them balls
And
into the
he
box in
did
other
that to
games.
Trez though, didn't he? In the semi-final against Leicester at home.
Yes, yeah, identical
Exact,
the way from
exact
deep, and he
same
pings them
ball.
across.
So he delivers. And I thought Jack today had his best game since coming back as well. All over the pitch where he was, the positions where he was, and that's where we need him to be. So I think all round we look good. Did anyone else stand out for you?
I thought Jack had a solid game, much more. of what we want to see of him. I think he can still go up another couple of levels. I thought McGinn looked slightly better.
Yeah.
Not quite full helicopter mode yet, but looked like he was getting there a bit.
Yeah.
I think Connor coming into the team just made us a bit more solid, and I think he plays better against these clubs lower down. Some of his best games have been against Norwich and Newcastle. But yeah, and then I think Douglas Luiz and Konza, them two have really impressed since Project Restart, and they continue to impress them too. I think they've been our most improved players.
Yeah.
So yeah, good day all round really. It's just a shame the strikers, it's not happening for the strikers, is it? And I think we're going to have to go it alone without help from them.
Yeah.
To be fair, because I can't see them scoring again.
And, I'd say we're optimistic fans. We will be going at this until the day there's an R next to our name, basically. So, it was annoying. It was annoying me the other day when obviously everyone was in like, we're 7 points, that's it now, it's gone. But it was a false 7 points, wasn't it? Because obviously we still had to play. So now at 4, right? And for me, we have to do exactly what we've done today against Everton.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then game by game, it could be 1 point, right?
Yeah.
And then we've got West Ham versus Watford. Hopefully somebody wins that game. And then we've got 2 games to go to shoot it out and fight it out. And we give ourselves a chance, yeah? And that's all we want. So how do you see it now?
Yeah, like you say, I think we've given ourselves a big chance. I'll put a tweet out there. I think I logged onto Twitter last night and I seen everyone said, "Oh, we're relegated." And I had a few beers and I put a tweet out going, we're not. We've still got 12 points to play for.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of messages back saying, no, you're deluded. No, not a chance, not a chance. And I think today we've given ourselves a chance.
Yeah.
It'll be like Villa just to give us a little bit of a chance and then take it away. But I think we can take this confidence into Everton. I think the first half, we lacked energy. And I thought Crystal Palace, who are very poor, had brought us down to their level where they're on holiday, not much to play for, going through the motions. And then the second half, I was a bit worried that we'd come out and we'd drop deep and we'd try and defend what we got, but we didn't. I think the confidence grew, our intensity grew. And I think we've got to take that into the Everton game and straight from the off, just be even at them, because they're on holiday. I think they got beat 3-0 today. They've got nothing to play for. And like I say, if we beat that, then the pressure's on the West Ham Watford game, and then Arsenal's got their FA Cup run. That might take the eye off them. If they get to the final, definitely might take their eye off the ball. Yeah. And then it comes down to the last game, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I said it in this little intro and into some of the other callers, today was all about the right application, right? If we apply ourselves correctly and play with the right motivation and purpose, because they're on holiday mode, right? And because Everton are on holiday mode, you're going to see who wants it and who doesn't, yeah? And that's what we now need to bring to that Everton game. We need to make them know that we are here to get them 3 points and we're going to get them. And I do think we'll beat Everton now. And I'm not just being optimistic or a deluded fan. I can't be negative because I don't want to be a fan that always thinks we're going to lose, we're relegated. Because how bad is it to think like that about a football?
What's the point?
It's no enjoyment, is there?
No, you support Aston Villa and you have blind optimism. Yeah. You've got to have that to support this club. What's the point? What is the point?
Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult for us to stay up. I obviously know that. It's backs to the walls for us. But one game at a time, and this is what I was trying to say to people as well, when they were saying, we'd still got Wolves, we'd still got Man City, we'd got Chelsea to play, and everybody was like, but we've got Crystal Palace and we've got Everton. They're the games we're going to win. But you have to take it game by game. How do you know that you're going to perform against Arsenal or West Ham? So turn up at Everton, get the win there, and then we'll address where we are. And I think that's the best way we can look at it, because I don't want to think about the Championship. Basically, I don't even want to think about Bristol City, Coventry City. I just don't want to do it. So
believe me, it'll be easier to rebuild in the Premiership than it is to rebuild in the Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's the thought of what's going to happen to that team, that squad. That's for another episode.
Yes, yeah.
So,
and hopefully we don't have to visit that episode.
Exactly.
Mate.
We've won a game, so
yes, let's enjoy it.
On that. So, Everton, what are you thinking? What's your score prediction then?
I'm going to go for 1-0. I think we're going to go
1-0.
1-0. Let's go 1-0. I would take that.
Yeah.
Go up there, early goal, and breeze through, mate.
Yeah, and I think just apply the pressure on Watford and West Ham then. You know, they were sat there last night, their fans thinking, 7 points now. Easy, smashed it. You know, one of them lose, it's a point.
Yeah.
And we're banging form.
I think out of them two, I think I'd rather West Ham beat Watford, and we go pound for pound with Watford.
Haven't Watford got Man City last game or the game before?
I'm sure they've got, or Bournemouth might have Man City. I think they were winning as we come on air as well. So they're not out of it yet. I think they've got Man City. So they've got tough games. They're all tough games. So
we just got to give ourselves a chance, and hopefully we're going to do it. So thanks for your call, mate.
No worries, mate. It's been a pleasure.
I know. Speak to you soon.
See you later, mate.
So delighted that he's back. Jacob's back. We've won a game of football. How good does that feel?
Over the moon, actually, Luke. I think that the lads did really well today. And I truly believe now that, although it looks unlikely that we potentially might win the rest of our game, we're on to bigger and better things, regardless of whether we go down or not. I think there's definitely a project building around Aston Villa, whether it be in the lower divisions or the godforsaken Premier League. Yeah. I just want to reiterate to the lads that they all did themselves proud today and really, really fought hard. Yeah. Really fought hard for the game. But Trez was fantastic again. You can see it in all the previous games that he plays. He puts a right shift in and runs himself into the ground every game. That's why I'm really, really proud of him today.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think what you said, we put a shift in and we did what we needed to do. I thought on social media that the meltdown that a couple of nights ago I had to come off it because it was just like we was already relegated. And for me, I don't like to look too far ahead. So I always thought, okay, if we win our game against Crystal Palace, it's back to 4 points, right? West Ham and Watford play each other. So we play before them. So if we can beat Everton, it's down to a point. So with 2 games to go after that, it's still all to play for. So for me, it was pleasing that today was very much like last resort, wasn't it? We had to win. And the belief that they actually got that win today. So going back to the game then today, were you confident before the game or not?
I was quite confident, to be honest. I thought we have a sneaky feeling today because they'd lost their last few games. So I thought, you know what, we've got a definite chance here.
Yeah.
I had true belief in the lads today. They proved all the doubters wrong today. And hats off to them. So I thought it was really good.
Performance-wise, who were you impressed with today?
I think Trez had a fantastic game. I thought Conor Hourihane showed again why he's a solid player. I can see why Dino saved him for this game. And I thought El Mohammadi had a solid game as well. A really solid game.
He was good when he came on, wasn't he? Like, he gets forward, he puts them balls in. And to be fair, whenever we ask him to do a job, he very rarely lets us down. So I'd like to see him stay in the team now. I think he's cemented his place. So moving forward to Everton, do you still believe we can do it? Do you think we can get the win?
It's going to be a tough time against Everton, I think. But there's no reason why we can't. There's no reason why we can't as Aston Villa. We're Aston Villa. We win games of football when we're at our best. When we're at our best, no one can stop us. And I truly believe that lads can win. Why not? Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I think if the application's the same, the belief's the same, and I just hope that from this game today, we take a lot of confidence from it and it does just show through on that Everton game. So it's been tough, hasn't it? Watching Villa through these times, and I just think we've just got to just feel good today, feel good tonight that we actually got the win and we're still in the hat. So how do you see the Watford-West Ham game going?
Watford-West Ham could go either way. If it was in my opinion, I think West Ham got the edge over Watford at the minute in terms of performances and player power. But yeah, absolutely. I think moving forward, that last game of the season will be a true test to great teams that rock the claret and blue. So we'll see who has the better outcome.
I think if we can get past the Everton game and we're still in with a chance, I think I'll feel confident that I'll be confident that we're going to do it, because I think it's such a tough to ask for us to stay up at the minute. So hopefully, we can take it to that last game and maybe it's not going to be a shootout with us and West Ham. Maybe West Ham are safe and it's between us and Watford. So, we've got to look at it as that scenario as well. So, going into Everton then, what's your score prediction?
As positive as I can be, I'm always optimistic on the timeline. I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win Aston Villa.
Yeah.
But I know a few other of the callers might have a different opinion, but that's fine. But I'm going to go for an optimistic 2-1 win.
Yeah, but that's what I think we've got to be like now. I can't sit here and be like, we're down, because it's not in our hands at the minute, but we've still got a chance. And if we go out there and perform and get the 3 points that's required game by game, then we've got a chance, and we've just got to make sure that we take as much confidence from this result as we physically possibly can. So, cool. Thanks for your call, mate. Up the Villa.
Thanks again. Cheers.
So, there we have it. A podcast with an Aston Villa win. It's been a long time coming, but thankfully we got the win. We got to have a semi-positive chat, and hopefully we can get the win against Everton. So if you did like the video, like it, subscribe, drop some comments. It'd be great to have you on board as well. If you do want to come on, just drop me a message on Twitter, Luke Robinson 89, or Up the Villa Podcast. Speak to you soon. Up the Villa.